Hello everyone, welcome to lesson 4-2, Relations. In this lesson, we will continue to address the question, how can we model relationships between quantities? And the words we will look at will be relation, domain, and range. Okay, let's explore the vocabulary before we move on. Here you can see that we have our graph or a coordinate plane. Okay, so let's complete the graphic organization of the coordinate plane below. Here we have, for example, right in the center. What do we call this? Right where the 0, 0 meet. We call that the origin. And over here, what do we call this axis? Right here. Horizontally, it's called the x-axis. And vertically, what is it vertically? Oh, vertically, it's called the y-axis. So we have our x-axis, our y-axis, our origin, and now when we have a point right there, what do we call that, for example? Or these areas right here. These are numbered, and they're numbered counterclockwise. We start with the positive area where it's positive, right, and we move to the left counterclockwise. So this would be your first quadrant, or quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. And they're written in Roman numerals. Here we have, in quadrant 2, we have an order pair. And we're not going to write order pair, we're just going to write what this number is. Remember, we run before we rise. So our x is always our first coordinate, and our y is our second. So here we count from x first. 1, 2, oh sorry, -1, -2, -3, -4. So that's -4, which I can write right in there. And then up we go +1, +2, +3. So, and +3, which is just simply 3. Identify the x-coordinate in the point -5, -7. So they want us to identify the x-coordinate. Well, we have x and y. So it would be, the x-coordinate would be simply -5, right? Because it's x, y, right? Let's take a look at one of our key concepts for this lesson. We have order pairs. And order pairs is when we have a set of coordinates for our plane right here, our coordinate plane. So we have our x, y, x, y, x, y, x, y, x, y. So our x's are known as our domain. See, the domain is, these are our domain, -2, 1, 0, 3. This is how the x coordinate is changing. And our range, the blue one, is 3, 2, -1, 2, and 1. So you can see that over here, in range, it's going down. And in domain, it's actually going up, but it's not regular. Here we have -2, and then +1, and then 0, and then also it jumps up by 3, then back 1, and then up by 3 again. And I guess the next number on that would be 2 if we kept that pattern going. But anyways, it's always good to look at these patterns. When we look at a table, our x will be our domain, which is the bottom numbers, okay, along the graph, and our y is our range of vertical numbers, okay? And you can see here that we have -2, 3, -2, and 3, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 0 and -1, 0, we don't go left or right, we just stay there, but then we go -1, and then 3 and 1, 3 and 1, always horizontal first and then vertical. Main concept. A relation is any set of ordered pairs. Relations can be represented as a table and as a graph. The domain of the relation is the set of x-coordinates. The range of the relation is the set of y-coordinates. So there is the word relation and what it means. So anytime we have in many of these ratios or rates, one number will always be your domain and the other number will be your range. Example 1. Express the relation 2, 6, comma, -4, -8, and -3, 6, 0, -4 as a table and a graph. Then state the domain and range. Okay, so we know that the first number, the first coordinate in all of those are going to be our range, our domain. And the second number will be our range. And you can see that's how the way they've organized it here. 2, -4, -3, 0. 2, -4, -3, 0. 6, -8, 6, -4, 6, -8, 6, -4. You see that? And then graph the ordered pairs on a coordinate plane. We simply follow these set of coordinates and we label them. Always run before you rise. So then we know that our domain is -4, -3, 0, and 2, as you can see here. And our range is -8, -4, and 6, right there. And you can see that they've been organized in from least to greatest, Okay, here we have an example that we have to complete where we have to express the relation of these ordered pairs as a graph in a table or as a table in a graph, then state the domain and range. If you think you can do this, please pause the video and try it now. Pause now. Okay, I hope you paused the video. Let's take a look at our order pairs. We have -5 and 2, 3 and -1, 6 and 2, 1 and 7. I'm going to go ahead and pick these out in order from least to greatest. Or I can just, it doesn't really matter, I guess I could put them here as they go, but I'm going to pick them from least to greatest in terms of my first coordinate. Okay, so the first coordinate with the least value is the -5 over here. So I have -5, okay, -5, and my y is 2. So that one's gone. Then I have 1 and 7. Okay, that one's done. Then I have 3 and -1, done. And then I have 6 and 2, done. Okay. Now that I have them here, I can go ahead and graph them. So I have -5 and 2, -5, 1. Oh, this jumps by, looks like they jump by 2 because -2, -4, -6, -5 is going to be right in between the two. So I'm here, and then I have to go +2, just right to that line there. I'm just going to put my first dot there, okay? Then I have 1 and 7, so again I start from the middle, and I jump over to 1, and I go all the way up to 7, which is going to be in between there. Okay, so I put my dot there. And then continuing on, I have 3 and -1, 3, positive 1. So it's 1, 2, 3, right? Because each line is by 2. It's going to be in between. And then a -1. -1 just halfway down this one. So right in the smack middle of that square, it's where it's going to be, okay, of that cell. And then finally 6 and 2. So I'll go 2, 4, 6, and 2, right there, right where those two meet. Okay. Okay, now I have to label my domain and my range. So I'll start with my domain. My domain is right here. Okay, this is my domain. So I have -5, 1, 3, and 6. And my range, okay, which is my y coordinates, are 2, 7, -1, and 2. Not -2, just 2. And that's it. I hope you had that. Okay, it costs $3 per hour to park at Wild Wood Amusement Park. $3 per hour. That's my rate. 3/1, right? So make a table and order pairs in which the x-coordinate represents the hours and the y-coordinate represents the total cost for 3, 4, 5, and 6 hours. So it looks like my input is my x, which is my domain, and then my y, my rise, my output is going to be, or my variable will be my range. So 3 hours, okay, will cost $9. If it's 3 hours, each hour is $3. It's going to be $9. 4 hours, 4 times 3 will be 12. 5 hours, 5 times 3 will be 15. And 6 hours, parking there for 6 hours, will be a total of 18. So then I can graph that. Here's my time. Again, 3 hours will go all the way up to 9. 4 hours, all the way up to 12. 5 hours to 15. And 6 hours will cost me $18. Okay, let's take a look at the example we have to complete together now. A movie rental store charges $3.95 per movie rental, so approximately $4. Okay, and that's why we see that here the total cost or our range is in increments of 2. So it's easy to round to 4 or 8 or 12, so on. Make a table of order pairs in which the x-coordinate represents the number of movies. So we're going to put number of movies along the bottom. Okay, I'm going to just put number of movies right along the bottom. And it says the number, the x-coordinate would represent the number of movies rented, and the y-coordinate represents the total cost. So I'm just going to put on over here cost along the side. Cost, and I'll put a $sign. Okay. And they want us to do the total cost for 1, 2, 3, and 4 movies. Okay, we got to make a graph. I usually just make a T-chart, and then I write X and Y. So for my X, I'm going to have, they said 1 movie, right? Number of movies, 2 movies, 3 movies, and 4 movies. Right, because that's what they said. Total number of movies. My movies will be my X, as we already discussed. So it makes sense to put it there. And then each movie is going to be $3.95. So my first movie for 1 is just $3.95, right? And then for 2, what's $3.95 plus $3.95? $7.90, or 7.9. For 3, $3.95 times 3 is $11.85. And for 4, I have 4 times $3.95 is $15.80. Okay, $15.80 or 15.8. Now we graph it. X first and then Y. So it would look something like this. Okay, about $4 for 1 movie, about $8, slightly under $8 for 2 movies, slightly under $12 for 3 movies, as you can see here, slightly under $12. And then finally slightly under $16, $15.80, slightly under $16 for 4 movies. And there you have it. Okay, I hope that felt like an easy lesson for you. Here is the guided practice. Please take a look through the guided practice and make sure you feel comfortable with the content for class. If you have any questions, refer back to the examples from the video. Okay, see you in class, everyone.